Good evening, humans. TyrannosaurusMoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the FuRay Planet Wilderness Hunter Crocker figure from Maestro Union. And it feels like forever ago since this figure was announced, and now it's here. So the question is was it worth the wait? Well, let's talk about that. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure is impressive as all hell, and that is not limited to just how massive it is, and it is massive. As you can see, it is taking up almost the entire screen here. Granted, the arms are out, but still, like, this is a solid piece of plastic. Nothing about this feels cheap or like they cheaped out at all. So yeah, that is, I'm trouble getting the arm down there, but yeah, just insane amount of detail, sculpt, paint, everything here. They did not short anything. And as you can see, this is the BigBadToyStore Exclusive. So this is the brighter green and you know, the kind of the darker pants, which I thought from the solicitation photos was gonna be more of a straight up black, but it is more of a kind of chocolate brown with this like white gray wash over it, which still looks very, very nice. Just not as nice as I'd hoped, especially with the red vest. So I might actually go over that at a later time once I'm confident enough and maybe make it a little more like definitively black with some highlights, but still looks absolutely fantastic. Look at all the details on the belt, some really nice wear on the buckle, and you know, we got a couple of rivets and just beautiful leather texture going on. So just awesome there. Obviously texture on the jeans, then the scales, just every inch. They did not waste any detail whatsoever. Just everything looks fantastic. Proportions look great. And again, all that paint, there's just so much detail here. It's so good. The only complaint I guess I have with the paint, not even complaint, just a small critique, is that they went a little heavy with the kind of whitewash over the top. So, you know, kind of like wadded up a little bit and, you know, not as clean as it could possibly be. I mean, it's supposed to look dirty, but, you know, looks a little overdone. But everything else, like look at the eyes, just absolutely piercing. They're great. And just all the details, the nice washes put over the mouth, it just really brings it to life. And the mouth itself, really well done. That really nice shade of pink with the darker pink wash in it. And you know, sculpt just straight up looks real, and it's so good. So honestly, if the aesthetics here are a 10, we get an absolutely unruly number of accessories here. So let's not waste any time. And actually, let's start with the neck pieces. So for the head, we do get movement, which we'll go over in the next section. But to account for like looking side to side, we have 3 neck pieces. So this first one is our straight ahead one. Right out of the box, he comes out looking to his right. So you can see that piece. And then one to look to the left. And these come in and out of the figure very, very nice and easy. They're kind of semi-rubbery, so that definitely helps. So yeah, very kind of a brilliant approach on behalf of Maestro Union. Then we get into hands. So right out of the box, we get a couple of grips. Then we get a couple of splayed out hands. Again, just love the detail everywhere on this figure. And then finally, a couple of pointing hands, just positively beautiful. Then we get, let's move into apparel. So we get red vest, again, this being the BigBadToyStore Exclusive. This one comes with this. The other one comes with a more kind of tan vest, I think. And you can see really nice details here. Again, the rivets, or the buttons rather, all painted in. And we get kind of a red camo on the front, and then dollars on the back. That's very, very nice touch. I love that. Sculpt here is beautiful as well. And this just slips right off the figure, and it's pretty easy, especially because they have this big split here in the middle. So that's really cool. Then we get a couple of shackles. Nice, so you can use these for either Crocker himself or anyone he pulls in. You can see there's a larger ring here at the end of this one. So these can be attached together. And then you can hang those off of something we'll get to in a second. Then finally, for apparel, we get the hat. So just done in black, you can see there's a magnet here to keep it to the head. We would not realize there's a magnet in the head unless you saw this. You get the kind of drawstring, which is obviously a little stiff right out of the package, but over time it'll definitely relax. Then we move on to weapons, and we get a shotgun, really nice and chonky. Love the look of this, aged pretty much perfectly with all those, dry brushes and all that. So just very, very nicely done. And really love the matte black they use here for the pump. So very, very nice. And then we get a huge knife. Again, same attention to detail, just a little bit of aging here on the blade, but then you see the handle gets a little more love in that department. Then finally, for those two weapons, we get a sheath for the knife. You can see this hook, and that's what I was talking about with the shackles. Those can kind of hook onto here and hang off there. And then finally, we get the holster for the shotgun. Just insane amounts of detail. Everything's super, super cleanly done as well. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful all around. Oh, before I forget, finally, we actually get a comic. So they have actually added lore to this, you know, totally not Leatherhead or Killer Croc. So really cool that this comes with this. And as you can see, full color and everything, like they really went all out, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's accessories. Articulation here is very nice, especially considering just the sheer size and the kind of strange form factor of the figure itself. As you can see, it can hold a freestanding kick. I actually just hit the tail and it's still standing, so love it. It's not even resting on the tail. If I can turn it, of course it's not gonna work now, but the tail was not holding it up, and yeah, just absolutely fantastic. So let's get into it. The head, we are on a kind of barbell joint, which comes into this neck piece. The neck piece doesn't move, obviously, that just is in there, but the head does move around, so you get a little bit of up, a little bit of down, and you know, the slightest bit of side to side, but obviously not what you would get with the other necks. We have a hinged jaw, so we can open that much. We can shut completely. Our arms hinge and swivel at the shoulders, not quite T, but we're coming to there. And you know, we can go all the way around as well. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, but we hit 90 because they sculpted it really well. We are on barbell joints for our wrists as well, so we can kind of come all the way around that way. We have a ball joint here at the diaphragm. We also, it feels like we should have one at the waist, but I guess not. It doesn't really move forward and back. So our crunch, I can actually show it off. So we're about that far forward, about that far back, nothing crazy. Again, there's a lot of sculpt and it's very, very tight. So get a little bit of side to side as well. Get some rotation at the top, get some rotation at the waist. For our hips, we are on just a couple of ball joints. And because that sculpt and the way they are, that's about as far as we're getting, which, you know, not too bad. We can come in about that far. We can kick forward pretty much completely. So again, just kind of the weird form factor, and kick back better than a lot of figures. So if you want to get a swimming pose, you got it. And then we come to our knees. So we bend about that far, about 90 degrees, straighten out pretty much completely. And those do rotate as well. Then our toes can point about that much, come forward about that much. And there's even some rocker. So there's that. Finally, the tail and ball joints all around. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 different segments. Fortunately, no bendy wire at all, and you know, nothing crazy, but we do get a little bit of side to side, a little bit up and down. So that's articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with a Hiya Toys Clegg Mercenary and a NECA Toys cartoon Leatherhead, with a couple Killer Crocs, with various turtle lines, with some Hasbro and some Mattel, with some imports, with some monsters. Finally, with articulated icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the FuRay Planet Crocker figure from Maestro Union is that this figure absolutely rules. This is really the ideal version of Leatherhead that I've always wanted, and I'm glad to say it completely delivers. It was absolutely worth the wait. Not only that, but again, this is the BigBadToyStore Exclusive, so the colors are different. The other standard version is more like realistic or like colors, and I want that one too. And I was originally going to get those because these were originally supposed to be staggered by a couple of months, and I could have made that work, but instead they both got delayed and hit at the same time. So I had to make a choice, and I made a choice for this one. I'm happy with that. However, definitely still looking to get the original version because I kind of want this one in the gear, and I want the one with the realistic colors as the, you know, kind of more, I forget if it was IDW or Mirage Comics Leatherhead, where again, he doesn't have the gear on. So yeah, either way, absolutely worth it. Worth getting twice. I think it's worth getting both color schemes. So yeah, if you are interested in this figure, this again is the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, so I will have the link to this particular one in the link below for you to get if you so wish. And with that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. There's even more to do to help the channel directly in the description below, so please check that out. And yeah, I appreciate you watching, and I hope you join me again, because I have various reviews, at least 3 a week, going up for figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So yeah, hope to see you back. And one final time, ultra thanks to you for watching, and I hope that you are well. I hope that all your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, that you and yours stay weird, simians.